Here we go, green-fingered hellers. 2 tons of compost about to be delivered. Probably about to block my car in, bless him. He's got to get his wheelie thing onto the gravel, and I'm probably going to spend the rest of my weekend shoveling shit for the garden. So, the soil, the compost is in. Biggest splinter. Oh, had to pull out a wedge of wood about that big. That was really painful. Poor guy. Trying to drag that across the gravel. Anyway, it's still blocking the drive. Still got to cut down trees in order to get the car out. Ridiculous. All of that to make her flower beds and Nadia's garden beautiful so she can relax in the hot tub and not even notice. I mean, I don't want her to notice, that's the point, but lupin corner. Look over here. Hand grenade of peony joy. Look at that. About to unfold. About to unfold. They're like little bombs of colour. Sadly, this one is definitely wasted away. Calcified. Morning, green-fingered hellers. It's a little bit windy out here. And I just thought I'd do a little update as to where we're at with various parts of the garden. We're going to take you on a little wander tour. This is also partly for Nanny Di, because she can't be here, and hopefully she'll be able to watch this and she'll be able to catch up. So I'm going to show you some exciting things, and you never know, Miss Sawalha off the telly might come out here one day. So let's start in the familiar corner where things are sort of very reliable and predictable. So honeysuckle. It's trying to reach way beyond that, isn't it? Out this way. I don't know why it won't just... Look. Why doesn't it reach? Why doesn't it reach for the trellis? This was the beautiful clematis, and since we've had the winds, it blew all the petals off. And I have to say, I've never felt such disappointment like the disappointment of watching clematis petals fly off. There's 2 more there. I'm ordering another one of those pots, sort of contemporary looking containers, but I couldn't get one with the same width. I've got one that's a bit higher and a bit deeper, same volume but different shape. A couple there. Some of the pigeons have done a nice bit of shitting on them. Look at this. I'm going to turn you around for this. This is very beautiful, this clematis. Oh, look at that. Isn't that something else? Definitely something out of a sci-fi film though. Flowers. Oh, yeah, it's a curious little one. Not loads of little ones budding. I love the way in which different ones flower at different times. This clematis here, guys, this is the Julia Corrivoni or something. Look, they've kind of bound up together and they look a bit sort of, not mildewy, but a bit powdery. That doesn't look too healthy there, and yet it's gone off. Oh, Christ, I've just got caught. And it's gone off at a side shoot down here. What's going on there? How would I separate those? Can I separate those? Should I separate those? Likewise, I'm eventually going to get a bigger pot. Maybe they're not in big enough pots. Rose bush is delivering a rose, and the jasmine is going a bit nuts. Look, that's the jasmine. This is the jasmine in front of my face. Woo! But look at this down here. Take a sniff. Oh, it smells so good. And over here, I'm just going to spin you around. There's the wisteria. I'm trying to do something, but that's kind of how I want it. I don't want a wisteria running out of control. Do you? Okay, so over here in the nursery corner, what have we got over here? So, over here I've sown some seeds for some, I can't remember what they are, some perennial plants. Over here we've got Greek oregano. The pigeons have come over and had a little nibble around. And for all those seeds I put in there, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, so I'm going to sort of pop them on. Look, Ferlini tomatoes. Sorry about the wind. Ferlini tomatoes, look, I need to take those old leaves off and let them grow. And then over here we've got Zeta Zata. And we've got some more tomatoes over here. Though they look like they're mixed in with some other things too. Then over here, again, I came out the other day, guys, and something had dug all this out. That's English winter time. So again, I'll be salvaging that. Now, this is very exciting. This is very exciting. I'm very excited about this because I've not done this before properly. So I'm going to turn you around for my potato sacks. You ready? Do you want to see my potato sacks? And no, it's not a euphemism. It's my potato sacks. Do you want to see my potatoes in my sacks? Oh, oh, there she comes. There she comes. Crikey, that's a great looking look. You look like something out of the 60s, like the Stepford Wives.
Curly hair, you have to put like a t-shirt.
Look down at my potato sacks.
Ooh, said the actress of the bishop. They look great.
What's in them?
Potatoes.
There's green stuff.
I'm hoping they're going to taste so delicious.
Yeah, do you know what I have to do now? I have to top them up. And you keep topping them up until the soil's at the top. And then, of course, all the potatoes grow underneath.
Really?
Isn't it clever? Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Oh, I've got 4 sacks of potatoes.
Yummy.
Do you like my potato sacks?
I love your potato sacks.
Do you like the potatoes that are in them?
I love your potatoes.
Yeah.
Give me more of your potatoes.
Okay, got some spuds coming, baby, just for you. I'm not a stud, I'm a spud. Don't forget, guys, I fucking love a potato. Maris Piper, wonderful. Charlotte, wonderful. Like a new potato, though. Get a lot of ribbing, though, from my mates, you know what I'm saying, about potatoes, because it's like, I like a new potato salad. None of them like that. They like a good old baked potato, where the skin is rough, like their grandfather's chins. I like a baked potato, though, when the skin is hard and wrinkly, and a bit rough when you scrape it. A bit like if you were to brush your face against the buttock of an elephant. And I've got more sacks there that I can sow, so that we have staggered potatoes. So exciting. So there you go, nursery corner. Now, I'm going to share something with you that was really devastating, and I'm beginning to wonder whether what did this was actually Toffee's tail. So, you know, we've always struggled with this stepped bed situation here, just by the terrace. And alliums, we tried to grow them from seeds. I didn't realise they were bulbs. So we got 2 allium plants, and they were budding, and they were pushing upwards, and they had the buds, and they were just opening 2 days ago. And then I came out yesterday, and look what I found. Look what I found. An act of allium vandalism. Look, that one has gone. That's gone. That one's dead. That one's there, just. But look what's over here. That's what we were after. That's what we were hoping for. So, subs, why do you think the peonies aren't flowering this year? Do you need a couple of years? Do they need a couple of years in place before they start flowering? But look, potentilla, looking nice. Look, little flowers. Look, parsley is growing up, even though, again, the magpie or the pigeon has been delving in there. Rose. So you liking my tour of the garden? Are you liking it? I'm trying to take you into every little nook and cranny, every little cranny and crevice, every little fissure and edge, every little crack and croon. I'm going to take you even closer to this allium, because I just love saying the word allium. Allium. I love a fern, me. I love a fern. I like a pine cone more, though. With a pine cone, you feel like you could rub it against your skin and it might exfoliate the blackheads. You know what I'm saying? There you go. That's a fine allium. It's a lot of stalk, isn't it? For a little thing on the top there. He's a little bit... Oh, but look here. Looky here. Roses. Roses. There's a rose in there somewhere. Roses coming up here. Do wonder if this needs to be transplanted somewhere else. This is that. The palms are doing nicely. I want to get Nadia more palms. But we've got a rose coming here next to our bonsai apple tree. Wow, look at that. All scrunched up and good to go. Oh, Rose, thou art sick. It's the only bit of poetry I know. My grandfather read me that when he was in prison. Well, he didn't read me it, he remembered it. It was written on his prison wall. Yeah. Oh, Rose, thou art sick. Apparently, rumour has it, he stenciled that into some bastard's forehead. Yeah, just before he died. He was a tough nut, my granddad. Now, they're a little bit quiet at the moment, but up there are chicks. And we were watching a pigeon a teenage pigeon. You never see baby pigeons. We were watching a teenage pigeon trying to leave its nest the other day. And at about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock up there today, you'll hear them all. Which is interesting because they've gone for the National Trust one that we bought last year. And they ditched this. So if there's any blue tits watching, and who need a small pad with, you know, a very tiny terrace and balcony at the front, there's one going here. Very cheap, very affordable, beautiful view of Miss Sawalha off the telly. Over here, I've been ooh. Yeah. Oh, can you put them on there? Can hear something. Can hear something tapping. It's like a woodpecker. It's like a woodpecker doing Morse code. I am trapped inside a tree. A stupid woodpecker. So over here, look, I've started just there. I started de-weeding. I mean, there's literally, pop your chair wherever you lay your hat in this garden. There are weeds to be pulled up. So over here, guys, there's compost corner. It's amazing how I've mown the lawn about 4 times this year, and I've put all of the grass in there, and it really degrades, doesn't it, quite quickly. So like in probably another 3 weeks I'll be able to put more in there. So I mean, at what point do I open the bottom and take out compost? How long does it take, guys? Can you give us a clue? So in this corner here, we're talking about and thinking about an office area. Yeah, you know, one of those sort of sheds, like a glorified shed, but somewhere where you can work away from the house. But there's also a shed, because we're going to have a greenhouse in that side of the garden. But shed, so coming out to here, pathway running up to house, because that's quite a naturally developed pathway there, created by the dogs. New bed here, which I'm going to use some of the soil. So I'm going to mow that at some point, and then I'm going to dig it so that we get rid of most of the grass. And then I'm going to plonk a whole load of soil on it. So that's that corner. This bed is just, I mean, all of that is weeds, but it's quite pretty meadowy looking at the moment, though it's kind of losing it a bit. As you know, on the other side, we'll see in a minute, where the lupins are, where the peonies are, I've been working on that. But I mean, there's a lot of work needed here. You can just see here, look, just see where I'm sort of coming in, and look, you see the first peony has opened. Now this is interesting, because that clutch of peonies there and another clutch of peonies there, which leads me to think that the clutch we plopped over there may well flower in maybe another year or another 2 years even. But these went back to nothing, because of course this area was so overgrown and so underground. It was like a scene from Hansel and Gretel. But isn't it amazing that basically the sort of the shrubs or the root systems of these peonies have stayed there, didn't grow at all because they got no light. And now this clutch here, this is the first time it's flowered like that since me and Nadia first remember seeing a peony in the garden many years ago. Lupins looking good. So, you know, already this lawn is feeling like it could do with yet another bit of a mow. This is the corner down here that we cleared. Do you remember? That was where I put the salt. Didn't kill it. That doesn't look particularly healthy, but I didn't kill it. Some shrubbery here. I'm hoping to replenish this with new shrubbery, because we need to clear a bit further that way to do that. Then over here, in what's sort of like a pop-up vegetable plot, because eventually that front garden where all the debris is going to be our veggie area. I've had to put netting over the rocket. And I'm getting slightly concerned that if it starts to grow through, when I pull this off, it's going to be a bit of a struggle. But it's kind of working. I can see rocket coming through, and that's to prevent the birds. Here we've got spinach that's starting to come through. There is a sort of mildewy feel coming to some of the leaves. It's also the case with some of the cut and come again lettuce. So I am hoping that will sort itself up. I'm going to be emptying that in a minute, that wheelbarrow, in order to bring in some soil. So we've got soil, we've got 2 tons of compost. We're going to be getting a skip for garden waste. I'll be able to get rid of most of this. And that, you know, down here. So, and look, here's the poppy. We're in poppy. So here's the lupins. There's the lupins, really strong lupins, like from another planet. I mean, let me give you a close-up. There's a much smaller lupin there. I don't know. I've planted echinacea there. I've planted something else here. Look at those. Look at that. Aren't they beautiful? Again, aliens. We keep thinking there's extraterrestrials, but check this out, guys. Check this out. Look at that. Come on, literally little powder puff balls of beauty. It's a little powder puff of joy, that, isn't it? A little powder puff of pleasure. Yeah, that's what peony is. I like to think of myself as a bit of a poet, you know, the natural world, nature, and all that green stuff. Definitely brings the softer side of me out. So, you know, when I see a peony, you know, first thought is, I want to punch it. I mean, but then the second thought is, nah, I want to cut it in a nice way and put it in a vase. I have to stop smashing the vase over my own head, and then I want to give it to someone I love. And that's the problem, you see, I don't love no one. So what do with a peony? That's why I leave it alone. Got no one to give it to. So, you know, I mean, you've just seen there, nature kicks up all these myriad feelings, you know, of love, lost love, wanting to love, not knowing how to love, all that sort of stuff. So much in the garden, isn't there? So much. So, that's peony corner. Rose bush there, it's starting to come through. You can see a little glimpse of pink there. That becomes a real shock of pink. I'm really quite pleased. We've got pink lupins, pink peonies, foxgloves are planted there again. The reason I'm so hesitant about this, I'm wanting to grow from seed, but of course you're fighting an almost impossible battle with the birds in this garden, all hunting for seed, and the dogs running over things. And, you know, Nanny Di, when she comes back, she'll walk all over things. Down here, I've planted 1,000 opium poppy seeds. Got cosmoses. Worried they're all a bit bunched up together there. But you know what? A shocker colour there. Don't mind that. They're annuals, so they might reseed. I presume they might reseed. Agapanthus in there. See it there? Don't know what that's going to do. Might not do anything. I've worked out what's going on with the leaves of this acer. They don't like wind, so unfortunately, you know, it's fine, but they curl up, and it's been very windy the last couple of days. The other ones, bar the one that we had a real, you know, there's the dead one there by the strawberries. Those strawberries are putting on a bit of a burst, you know. I've put a white azalea in there. Apparently I was looking up, good plants to plant beneath acers or with acers are azaleas. So we have a white azalea there. And check out here, we've got the tree that I got here. Betula pendula, Jungi. This is a small weeping tree. It's an ideal lawn tree. So here's the thing. Obviously that bed I think is going to have to be contended with in the winter, and that will be one of next year's projects. But I think I've got the 2 lilacs on the patio, which I want to put opposite this lilac, which we're going to cut back and make more manageable for next year. So if you've got that lilac there, and then we've got 2 lilac bushes there and there, and then I'm thinking on this corner here, a weeping tree of some sort will be quite nice with that. Any ideas, guys, for what we could grow up a trellis up that wall? It gets sun from about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock till the end of the day. I reckon we could probably get a very, very beautiful rambling rose or something like that. What do you think, guys? We were going to do bougainvillea, but the 2 that we got last year just died. Boom, like that. That bed, it's just about managing that bed and keeping it going for next year. This bed, when I get my new fork, which I'm waiting for because of COVID, nothing's arriving. I'm going to do a bit of that today. I'm going to try and finish that bed, bring in some of the 2 tons of soil, replenish it, boom, can start planting in there. Bed, keep weeding, bed. We've got a couple of new lilacs there. That azalea's past its flowering moment. These are going to kick off soon. I forget what they're called. Can someone remind me what these are called? That there is a you see that? That's a pomegranate bush. It's come again salad. I know what nads mean. Some of the leaves are a bit yellow, but I think they're the really baby leaves. So olive tree. It's all the usual up here. And that's it, and that's where we're at, really. It's not bad, is it? And look, mowed the lawn here yesterday. Looks, I am watering the patches of the lawn, and I am actually looking at videos on how to replenish the patches in a lawn. But here's the thing, answer me this, guys. If I do what this woman said I need to do, which is kind of you dig that up, dig, scrape, seed, get a little bit of fresh compost. What do you then do to stop the birds just coming down and eating them? Is that, do you get like a little pitched sort of trellis of some form, or netting, or what do I do? I want some answers. I need some answers. In fact, I demand some answers. So the long and the short of it is, a garden is for life. A little bit like my sentence last year for armed robbery. Yeah. They'd never seen someone come into a garden centre so fully armed up to the hilt. And I was desperate for some pots, for some terracotta. And when you ain't got no terracotta, you've got to go to extraordinary lengths to get it, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I did life. But that's a good thing, because it made me think about life. And it made me realise that life is cyclical. And I think that means it goes round and round again. Though when I killed my guinea pig when I was a boy, it didn't go round and round again, it just lay there, just looking at me. I realised then the fragility of life. Yeah, makes me think a lot, the garden, really does. But tell me this, why is it whenever I grow cut and come again salad, it always gets a bit mildewy at the edges? What's going on here? What is going on? Why is that? Why does it get a bit mildewy? Or why do you get leaves like that? Why'd you get that? Is it because we're not cutting and coming again enough? But you've got to get bigger. I need to cut and come again, otherwise there won't be nothing left. Anyway, perennial questions of gardening life. I never understand why the simplest things that people just get, no, just grow some cut and come again lettuce. Never fucking simple, is it? Right, last year, you'll probably remember, me and Stephen went like clappers at this garden, which created, we had basically this front garden right next to, adjacent to our front drive, is a beautiful potential shape for a perfect kitchen garden. I had it so clear last year, and followers of Green Fingered Hare will know that I burnt a lot, me and Stephen shredded a lot, but then once we'd shredded and burnt, pretty much I'd got everything away. We filled, I think, a skip or 2 skips full of just debris. We then ended up, it was after that we cleared a lot of the beds. So the reason that so many of the beds in there and we have so few not as many trees, and why we can have a blank canvas essentially to build from, is because of this. We are back at the stage that we're at. So this needs to be a combination of skip, which is this kind of stuff here, shredding, which is this sort of stuff here, but also there's some kind of substantive kind of wood, you know, logs that could be used for borders or bedding and stuff like that. But guys, tell me, how does one most conveniently get rid of green matter or garden waste? I mean, I'm loath to burn. We did some burning last year and a number of people quite correctly said this isn't great for the environment. Can we burn? Should we burn? What are the rules and regs? What are your suggestions? Give us your suggestions. I'd really appreciate them. In the meantime, we're having to use it as a dumping ground. So this really is the kind of off bounds. But the plan is to get a greenhouse and put it down that end in order to grow the fruit and veg in this area with beds everywhere. I don't even remember last year I had such plans for this, but you know, one has to be a realist as a gardener. You know, you've got to think, okay, project, and we are in a place, I mean, I'm going to turn you around, you can just glimpse that garden. It looks so manageable compared to where it used to be. Look, there's tops, lawn, nice beds, and that's knowing all the work that you guys know we've still got to do. We've got to essentially still de-weed that first bed. Even underneath the acers, it's a real nightmare. All the weeds are coming back again. I mean, you know, again, someone suggested, I want to look at this, the comments under this film, someone suggested an individual tool that means you can really pull up those weeds, whatever those weeds are, that sort of kind of lattice work. But anyway, so this is something I'm mindful of, but skip, shredder, because the shredder means we can then recycle much of this waste and use it as chipping, which for the winter months is really useful for insulating things like the acers from frosts. And then we become a little bit self-sufficient, and then I get stupidly excited. So anyway, now I've just got to get rid of all this by hurling it over there so I can get some soil in from the drive. I like a bird. I really like a bird. I do like the tits, any kind of tit really. I like the coal tits, I like the great tits, I like the blue tits, I like the wagtail tits. Is that a bird? I think it's a bird. Don't like the thrush. The thrushes, they kind of remind me of a time when I used to get thrush. It's not pleasant. Goldfinches, like them, blackbirds, they're a bit fucking feisty at the moment, aren't they? They're a bit kind of aggressive, especially the female ones, which are actually brown. Robins, angry little fuckers, aren't they? Wrens, they're tiny, they're small, but if you stroke them too hard, you can break their beaks and sometimes break their necks. Magpies, don't trust them. Just don't trust them. Never had a good time with a magpie. And the pigeons, they're all right. I kind of feel a bit of comfort from their noise, but they're a bit fucking stupid, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, with their great big chests and their wobbly heads and they're like the vicars of the fucking bird world, aren't they? With their collars and all that shit. Nah, but I do like birds, don't get me wrong. So subs, what have we got in the boxes? What's in the boxes? Shall we have a look? Because we've had a bit of squirrel action. Oh, my coffee on the floor. Gotta get my priorities right. Fucking love my coffee, I tell you. Double espresso. Sometimes I'll get a quadruple espresso because this stuff just don't hit the edges, does it? An Americano, it's an espresso with water in it. What's that about? Why are you diluting it? Frappy wappy woos, cafe lattes, frappuccino, what is all that shit? That namby-pamby fucking nonsense. Nah, what you want is a man's coffee, and a man's coffee is usually the kind of engine oil scraped off your engine and just sucked off a stick. That's how I like my coffee. And here we go, guys. It's like proper. And I wonder if after 6 uses, that won't screw on properly, that'll come undone, that'll fall apart. But let's just hope, let's just think for now, it's a nice looking bird feeder. Yeah, let's get that on a tree, shall we? Let's get that on a tree. Because that really nice looking one over here, look. I came out the other day and the pigeons were all down here, which is why this area is covered in shit. And look, that one up there, for some reason the squirrels can get that, or they get it and they shake it. So I'm hoping that this one is a bit better. I don't know how and I don't know why. Anyway, I'm gonna try it. When I was in the nick, they used to call me the fucking bird feeder. I was the guy in the wing who used to come out, take the time to look after the birds. You'd see me at night with all my nuts and seeds, wandering around. Nowhere to fucking hang it though, is there? There's no trees in a prison. So used to leave them in the corner of the yard. And every day I'd come out the next morning, you know, I'd come out and see how they were going. And usually that guy, Jerry, he only had one finger. He had his finger right in there and he was always nibbling the nuts. Yeah, Jerry. Wonder how he is. I wonder what happened to one-fingered Jerry.